Like, I just can't call it if, this is a bigger magnitude or greater magnitude of attention than we had with Bolt's era, or that we had with Michael Johnson's era, or that we had with Carl Lewis's era. It's hard to kind of decipher like which one even takes heat over the other one. But this is the social media era, and Noah has successfully, you know, polarized millions of people.
And is he bringing the same amount of attention to the sport of track and field that Usain Bolt was bringing to the sport of track and field? No, obviously not. I don't think anyone would agree or anyone would say that that's the case. Is he bringing a lot of attention to it? 100%. Because they had interviewed a few of the other athletes, and they were like, yeah, on my best day, I jump 6 meters. On Mondo's worst day, he jumps 6 meter 605. So it's like we're not competing in the same sport. Mondo, in my opinion, right now is the most dominant athlete in track and field. Welcome back to another episode of the Track World News Podcast. My name's Colin Waitsman. I'm your host with our esteemed co-host, Mr. Noah Williams. Noah, how you doing today, man?
What's going on, brother? Good. Feeling blessed and highly favored as always, man. Excited for another episode. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead, like and subscribe, do all of that, show love. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good. How you feeling over there?
Doing good. It's crazy that the summer is like finally over and we're getting into the fall and everything like that. Like,
yeah,
it's not like this past, like for the, I guess you in Florida, so it might be a little different, but like for the last like couple days, like I had to wear like a sweater today. Yeah. The first time I was like, dang, it's starting to hit, man. It's now 75 outside. It's starting to get that weather, man.
Starbucks already got they fall drinks going on, so I know it's about to change, man.
Oh yeah, the pumpkin spice. They got the pumpkin spice out there and everything, so it's starting to get crazy.
They got their pumpkin spice back. The apple crisp. I actually had a little apple joint though. That was good. I'm not gonna cap. Yeah.
And I'm starting it's crazy too that we still got that. Because I'm following obviously a lot of like the college track like accounts, and like they got athletes going back to college now. Like I see them doing their hills and everything like that. But then you also still got people that are still competing for this year, with the Paralympics that are actually about to go on right now. And then there's also the still some Diamond League stuff. So it's in a weird part of like the year where people are like already getting ready to go back. So
yeah, this is like focus on yourself time of the year, bro. There's so much stuff going on, like it's crazy.
What's the going back from when you were maybe it was in school or maybe as a pro? What is like one of your least favorite fall workouts that you had? Like any workouts that you were like, this is just absolutely terrible, that was awful?
Maybe like my first time running the stadium at LSU, like the first time running that football stadium. Other than that, I think I never really tripped out over a workout, but that's just me. But probably like the very first LSU, fall stadium workout, and then in Akron when I first got there, we used to run these long hills at Goodyear Park, and that was like a little bit intimidating as a freshman. So maybe those two moments, but never too overwhelmed with anything. What about you though? I mean, you had a fall training.
Yeah, man. The one that comes to mind immediately for me was we had this 300 meter circuit workout that we did. So I'm gonna butcher a little bit of it, but the way that it went was, so there was like you're on the home stretch of the track, and so there's about 30 meters that you would do, and you would do like different exercises down those 30 meters. So it's like you would do like Spider-Man push-ups, like push up, take a step forward, push up, take a step forward, like for 30 meters. And then there would be other things like A skips, B skips, just like lighter type of like dynamic stretching workout type of deals. But you would do that for 30 meters, and it would be high intensity. So there's probably about 15 workouts that you would do. And then you would have to jog to the 300 meter start, and then coach would go 3, 2, 1, go. And then you had to sprint a 300 meter, and then you got like 2 minutes in between, and then you had to do it again 4 times. It was like, that sucked. Like that was not fun as a vaulter, because like you had to, there wasn't really like a downtime. Like you had to jog over and be like, ready, go. And I was like, damn, like as a pole vaulter, that wasn't fun, man. So
Yeah, that's a lot. That's doing a lot for sure. Yeah, I can recall maybe doing something similar actually, but not that many sets though. That's a lot that's a lot.
yeah, it was a bunch of work that we had a 400 meter. Oh, no, wait, actually, I take it back. The actual worst one was we did suicides. So we were on the turf though, and so but the way that it went was you had to sprint for 30 seconds straight, just going down and back and down and back, and then once your 30 seconds is up, then there's a line of like you were in groups of 5. And so then the other person would go for 30 seconds, and you had to sprint, try to complete as many laps as you can. Your rest was the other 4 people that were going. So you only had 2 minutes and you had to complete 10 like of these sets and everything. That one was not fun, especially like if you finished on the wrong side, because it's just sprinting for 30 seconds. So if you sprinted and you finished on the down, you had to like run to get back. So you really didn't have a break. So it was yeah, no, that one actually sucked. That one was the worst. I'm
Yeah, bro,
super
you've
glad.
been through the ringer over there, bro.
Yeah, not as much as I'm glad that I'm not like y'all having a run right now. I couldn't imagine continuing to run. So how's the foot feeling? You coming getting ready for your fall training, getting ready for
We're getting
2025?
better and better, bro. You know, I'm blessed, man. It's coming along though, for sure. Like we on track as we're supposed to be. So, you know, it's just something to be grateful about.
There you
Yeah.
go. You starting to run? You in the running parts now, or
I
I know you
haven't
said you're
started
light.
running. I haven't
Okay,
started running, but I'm doing like full weight bearing things, and I'm
that's
starting
good.
to get into more like explosive lifts and stuff like that. So it's cool, man. That swelling's out of my foot. Like I got 2 normal sized feet now. It's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Were your shoes like? Would you put shoes on? Would it be
I was
like?
wearing slides everywhere, either slides or like mules everywhere. Like, you know, but when I got the boot off, I was so excited to get the boot off. So I went right to the mall. I was like, I got to get a couple pairs of shoes now. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because. But now I could finally actually put like training shoes on. I was only, like I said, only wearing like slides and maybe some dad shoes because they were like, they got more space. But you know, I like to put that shit on. So it's been a hard time for me, man.
Yeah, coming through with some busted shoe. I'm sure you're probably hurting for a little bit. So
Yeah, I was
no,
hurting, bro. So it's all good. We good now. We back on track.
good stuff. Good stuff. Well, awesome. So let's get into it for today. Got a couple good topics for you all. So we'll be going over the Diamond League, Silesia, whatever that is, however you say that word.
Poland,
In
whatever.
Poland, in Poland,
Yeah.
the Poland Diamond League. So we'll be going over that. Talking about Rai Benjamin with his claiming Noah Lyles changed track and field. We'll talk about that. And then the announcement of Sprint Season 2. It's going to be coming this November. So going over a little bit of the athletes that we will see getting focused on, as well as what are some documentaries and some athletes or stories that you would like to see Netflix or some other streaming site make a documentary on. So a lot of really great stuff, a lot of things to get into. So let's get it started off with just some world records. So obviously there was some really good performances here at the Diamond League meet in Poland. Both, it seems like every single race and competition, a new meet record at least was going down. Makes me think, was this like y'all's first meet that you're having? Because it's a meet record every single event pretty much. But Jakob Ingebrigtsen gets a new world record in the 3,000 meters with a time of 7:17:55. This is breaking the previous world record by, I believe, about 3 seconds. So a pretty massive drop down for him, and playing kind of the best of both worlds for him, because obviously he does the 1,500 really well. He was the 5,000 meter Olympic champion. So playing right in between kind of both of his strengths. Yeah, what were your thoughts from the performance we had here from Jakob?
Bro, he cold, man. Like, I don't know. I was watching it on mute. I was watching the race on mute, so I wasn't sure if the commentators were keeping everything in line with the world record pace or like speaking on it. But I'm watching, I'm like, bro, he high key dominating though. Like, we all know he's cold and everything, but I didn't expect him to just outright dominate the field like that. But you know, it ended up being a world record too on top of that. So the optics lined up with the world record being what it was, you know.
Yeah, to speak on what they were talking about in the commentary. So he was actually behind world record pace by about 2 seconds going into the last 400.
Okay.
So he was dominating them, but like they were like, yeah, he's like 1 to 2 seconds off. And they were like, yeah, the guy that broke the world record, he closed in 58 seconds or so, something like that. And so they're like, all right, so he closed in 58. Jakob usually closes in 56. So if he does what he normally does, then we should be able to see something, something impressive here. And so, but he just came out and just like dropped the hammer, beating them all down. And it was just breaking the world record. He seemed a little surprised that he broke it by that
Yeah,
much,
he did.
which was cool. So he's one of them ones, man. He's someone that you don't, it's tough to mess with. It's weird that he didn't get it done in the 1500. Like, I thought that he was going to do that in the Olympics, but still, like, cold race from bro. So great performance from Jakob. New world record. Interesting to see what he's gonna, if he'll continue with the 5K, the 1500 the rest of the way. And he's like 23 or something too, which I feel like he's been in the game for so long, and he's not even that old. So it's very impressive, very impressive. Get into the other world record that we had get broken. Mr. Mondo Duplantis jumping pole vaulting 6.26 meters, a new world record. He just continues to break his own world record. And when they showed the hip height that he had a lot of space kind of over there that he could have easily just continued to break it. I mean, we were talking about him last week doing this, talking about it at the Olympics. Like, he just continues and continues and continues to break the world record. It's he's in that era of just like Sidney McLaughlin, where every time you touch the track, it's assumed you're going to break the world record, and when you don't, it is a surprise.
Yeah.
It's like, what are your thoughts seeing just how ridiculous this guy Mondo is, man?
I mean, bro, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. I mean, for the competition itself, it was so much time going, but before he would even, you know what I'm saying, get on the track too. Like, he's special, man. We all know it. I saw a sign in the stands too that said, well, hey Mondo, new world record today, question mark. Like, it's just so it's like this is the norm now for him. It's so cool. Kind of excited to see where it goes from here. It was actually like a really good pole vault competition in general, though. It was 3 dudes over 6 meters, and I believe 3. It might have been 4, but it was dope.
Yeah, no, it was, Mondo was over 6 meters. We had Corrales over 6 meters
Yeah,
for the first time from Greece, and then Sam Kendricks, who was over 6 meters, almost breaking the American record as well. And so they were there, the commentators were talking about it, and they were saying how, it's like all of these other athletes, because they like had interviewed a few of the other athletes, and they were like, yeah, on my best day, I jump 6 meters. On Mondo's worst day, he jumps 6 meter 605. So it's like, we're not competing in the same sport. Like, this is a completely different thing. Like, he's not doing the same thing as everyone else. It's just like Mondo, in my opinion, right now is the most dominant athlete in track and field. There is
yeah,
no
he's
one that
Shaquille
is.
O'Neal, bro.
Yeah, he's Shaq, and I guess it
Yeah,
makes sense that he also went to LSU, and so he just dominates the field. Nobody has an opportunity to even come close to him. Like, he's so far ahead of the competition, which like makes you think, what's next? Like, I mean, at least with pole vault, you can always like continue to jump higher, jump higher, jump higher. But and I'm wondering, like, what other events could he do? I mean, I don't know if there's other events that he could even do at this point. But like,
excuse me.
bless you. Like, just the level of domination that he's having is crazy. It's Usain Bolt esque domination on the field.
Yeah, or maybe greater. I don't think Bolt broke the world record this many times. Like,
Yeah.
so the magnitude of what he's doing is we're in the moment right now. So it's hard to sometimes step away and kind of speculate it. But he broke, what is it, 8 times, 8, 9, 10 times.
Yeah, I mean, he's been breaking the world record for the last, like, I think 5 or 6 years now, like since I think 2019 or 2020, he's been breaking the world record. So it's just like he dominates. It's not even close to what he's doing. I bet you he probably gets to like 640. I mean, like the thing that stinks is like he could put the world record like insanely high, but like with vaulting and high jumping, since you can control the measurements, it's not like you're gonna go all out because you get paid off of every time you break that world record. So it's like it makes no sense to increase it by 5 centimeters or whatever it is. So it's just like just go up one at a time, one at a time. But yeah, dude's 24 and he's broken the world record like 9 times almost. It's doesn't make sense.
Incredible.
Doesn't make sense. And so then of course we'll see how he does next week with his 100-meter debut, professional debut. That'll be interesting. You think we'll get any more like this? Will because I don't think World Athletics has hosted like an individual, like one-on-one type of event like this in, geez, I don't know really ever. Like, you think this will kind of begin a new thing where we might see a couple more head-to-head matchups or maybe people competing in their non-events potentially?
I think we could. It'll be more athlete driven, like something that they gotta want to do it. I think it's gonna be driven that way. I think there might be something that might happen sooner than later. As far as one-on-one battles go and stuff like that, I think it's going to be like a low-key trendy thing. Probably you might get like one a year, one of these little head-to-heads a year.
Yeah, I'd love to see in a kind of similar field of like Rai Benjamin versus Grant Holloway in the 200-meter hurdles or something like that. Maybe 250. Somewhere. I don't know where it would be even for both of them, but I think that would be a good one to go up against. I'm trying to think of some other ones that might be
That's a good
interesting.
one though.
Yeah.
That's a really good one though. Like a 200 hurdle or
Mhm.
300-meter hurdle, something I don't know, but
Yeah.
that would be
Somewhere
dope
there would
between
be nice.
those two guys particularly. Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think too. What else would be like a good one that would be maybe a 400-meter runner versus a 200-meter runner? Maybe that could be interesting.
Yeah, over 300
I don't know,
for
something
sure.
like yeah,
Or you could
something
do
like
like a similar thing with Sydney and Masai since they're both,
yeah,
Olympic
yeah,
champs. Like, okay, let's do it on the
200-meter
men's side
hurdle.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that
Yeah,
would be good. I'd like it, man. I'd be interested to see how this kind of trends out if we can get a few more of these types of things to showcase like some of these talents in these
yeah,
off events that we don't get too
yeah.
often. So that'd be
I
good.
I know Quincy Hall wanted to race Noah Lyles, and Noah said something about going and breaking the world record in the 400. So I think that's the perfect opportunity there for those two to get something shaking there.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Look, like I appreciate the confidence that Noah has, but breaking the world record in the 400, that's that's a lot. I think that's I don't know. I don't know if I got him in a 400-meter world record. I think that's a step too far for me.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna address it.
Yeah, no,
We just can't address everything that Noah says. Noah says so many things. You can't address everything. So yeah.
yeah, no, it's look, it's good. Like have the confidence. Like if you don't believe it, who's going to? So, I mean, there you go. That's actually kind of transition to our next thing of Rai Benjamin. So he had the comment on I think it was the nightcap or maybe it was
I
the
think it was
Today
Sports
Show.
Center or something.
Sports
Yeah.
Center or something like that. Yeah, saying that Noah Lyles has changed the game of track and field. A lot of people in the comments agreeing. A lot of people in the comments strongly disagreeing with the comments of what he said. What are your thoughts? Do you think that he's changed the game of track and field here?
As far as attention, I think that was kind of Rye's point, or his intention was like, okay, Noah has got more eyes on the sport now in a magnitude that which Usain Bolt and Nasafa and those guys did. And I mean, maybe like I don't necessarily want to say he hasn't, because it's more like a Twitter era, social media era where Noah became like a Ryan Garcia-esque figure, where it's like you got he's like a polarizing guy where a lot of people are gonna hate him, a lot of people like him, a lot of controversial things. Um, for Noah, he has turned himself into a public figure, a public image. But has that revolutionized the sport? I'm not sure. I've seen it, but when he talked on Sprint, like as a whole collective, um, documentary series, that has put some more eyes to the sport. But like, I just can't call it if this is a bigger magnitude or greater magnitude of attention than we had with Bolt's era, or that we had with Michael Johnson's era, or that we had with Carl Lewis's era. It's hard to kind of decipher like which one even takes heat over the other one. But this is the social media era, and Noah has successfully, polarized millions of people in this era. So, that's all credit to him and his vision and what he wanted to do.
Yeah. So you kind of touched on it towards the tail end of where my thoughts are here. I think that there are different points of like peaks and valleys within our sport that you can point to. I would say the biggest one being Usain Bolt. Like Usain Bolt's change of the era was the biggest one. So his reign from 2008 to 2016, that era was the biggest changing of the game that we've seen. I think of it kind of like the beach. So like, let's say you go to the beach, right? There may be a massive wave that comes through and it's like, if you're going body surfing, regular boogie boarding, whatever it is, like, hey, that's the best one. You're like, this is a lot of fun. I need to catch that wave. And then after that, there's still other waves that are like really good. Like, oh, this is a good one, but it may not be the best, but it's a good one. Like, you want to catch that one too. And so that's how I see it, where sure, is this wave, and is he bringing the same amount of attention to the sport of track and field that Usain Bolt was bringing to the sport of track and field? No, obviously not. I don't think anyone would agree or anyone would say that that's the case. Is he bringing a lot of attention to it? 100%. Like he started his own documentary, that untitled docuseries that then translated eventually into Sprint. We have people still to this day, bringing up a quote that he had from a year and a half ago about world champions of what? You got USA Basketball tweeting about it. Like, you've got people still commenting on these sorts of things. And so while it's not to the level of what Usain Bolt was doing, I think that he's bringing a lot more attention. I think over like the long haul, similar, like having him, and I know Sha'Carri hasn't done as much media stuff as she did a couple of years ago. So, I mean, her, like, people watch meets though because of her. And people like to hear a lot of more stuff of what Noah Lyles is bringing up, if that makes sense. So, I think he did. I think he's brought a lot of attention.
I think the NBA thing is so funny. Like, that's so funny because they're like, they're men, they're people too. So I'm sure they felt like a little like attacked or whatever it was, but however they felt, they definitely were locked in to track and field. So that worked. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and the Tyreek Hill thing too. Like, he's still bringing it up. Like he's been like I bet you that we don't see the amount of like athletes that competing in this sport if Noah isn't as big, or if the sport wasn't as polarizing. I mean, DK Metcalf, what was that, about 2 years ago that ran? Tyreek Hill ran earlier this, during the indoor season. I thought that more like football athletes were going to compete, frankly. Like, after those things kind of happened, I thought it was going to become a much more consistent thing, which would have been cool. But I think he's changed it, but the impacts of the change, I think, we're gonna see a couple years down the line, because I think like things take some time to build out. Like, he talked about wanting to get a shoe and doing all this other stuff. Like, it's going to take time for those things to build out. But I'd say, yeah, he's definitely been the sport has definitely benefited from it for sure.
absolutely. He give everybody something to talk about too. Whether you like Noah or hate Noah, he gonna give you something to talk about. So that's a cool thing about it too.
There are social media accounts that make their money in their post based off of just hating on one person.
Yeah,
Like,
our friend Aaron Brown, he loves Noah. Like he has to love Noah, you know.
oh
So
yeah, no, yeah.
no
He's
more,
gotta
no more
love him.
shots, no more strays. I ain't shooting no more strays. That's just me.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you gotta, like, you talk about somebody so much, you gotta big impact, obviously. So
Hey, did you see our hate video?
what?
Did you see our hate video?
No, I didn't.
We
There's
have
a
a hate video, bro.
wait,
We have a hate
really?
video. Like some guy, I don't know who he is. I don't know how it came on my algorithm, but some guy like just took some of our clips or whatever and like went on both of our Instagrams and stuff and just like it was just a hate. Like it was so funny. Like I loved it because I was like, wow, like I have a hate video. Oh my gosh.
Finally made it. Congratulations, man. So, I'm sure it's probably talking about, Colin, this dude don't even run track. Noah, what you done recently? I'm sure it's probably something like that.
Bro, and the word he used, he said Noah's a what do you say, a hyper feminine man. I thought that was so funny, bro. I was like, all right. That was funny though.
That's hilarious. Yeah, officially, I guess we made it. There we go. Congratulations. We got a hate video somewhere out there.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
that's
brother.
funny. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, yeah, so I'd say it's really nice the amount of media, like with, like you said, the social media era. Like we were talking about it, like, Nightcap, Shannon Sharp, all of them. They had like 5 straight episodes talking about track and field. They had on the mixed 4x4 relay on their big podcast, with Vern and Shamir and Bryce Stedman and all them. And Quincy Wilson is doing race, like he went to the Fanatics Festival and doing all these things. 16-year-old kid. He went from 10,000 followers like at the beginning of this year to now over 400,000 followers on Instagram.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Bro, that's insane.
Yeah,
Like
that's crazy.
he's gonna be an absolute like superstar. Like people love watching that kid compete. That's like an insane level of growth to go from like 10K to like
400K.
400,000.
That's wicked.
The NFL was reposting him. Like the NFL posted his clips in
Oh,
high school.
yeah.
Yeah, because he played football. I guguess I was gonna say when he was younger. I mean, it was just last season when he was a freshman, I guess. But like, when you got the NFL saying, "Oh yeah, 16-year-old high school phenom," like, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's big time, man. Awesome. So excited to see how, like, where this track world's gonna be going. There's a couple big new private meets and everything that'll be coming out. So those will be good. But it's an exciting time to be in track and field. Exciting time for sure. Cool. Up next, so we've got the new series, or the next season of Sprint has just been announced. The Netflix, they're going to be airing it on November 13th. That'll be the next season of it. It's going to feature athletes such as Julian Alfred, Noah Lyles, Melissa Jefferson, Gabby Thomas, Marcel Jacobs, Fred Curley, Kashane Thompson, Letsile Tabogo, Kenny Bednarik, TT Terry, Oblique Seville, and Sharika Jackson, along with, I'm sure, a few more athletes there as well. What are your thoughts? Where you're, coming out with this new docuseries, or the second season of Sprint, and it's coming out pretty soon. It's not like we have to wait a whole year after the Olympics to get these types of this content here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Fred on there. Fred is like a mystical creature. He's like the unlocked character. So if we get some more insight in a familial way with Fred, an intimate way with Fred, I think that's something to really, really look forward to.
Yeah, no, that one's going to be, that'll be a good one to look into. And, I mean, he obviously had a lot of, was in the news a lot this entire year with things going on. It looks like he's back with Nike now. So he re-signed that contract. So that'll be fun. I'm excited to learn a little bit more, because we got a little glimpse of it from him in the first season. We'll have to see what they're going to bring out the second one, but a lot more athletes that they have. Like the first one, it was like 6 or so, and now they've got a lot more. I mean, obviously there's a few athletes that aren't announced in there. Sha'Carri Richardson being the most notable, so apparently she's not going to be in the docuseries. Elaine Thompson-Herah, who was in it last year. I mean, obviously she got injured. She's not going to be in this season, or at least highlighted in it. Shelly Ann Fraser-Price is missing in this one right now. So then they added a lot of new people. So that'll be I'm excited to get the behind the scenes scoop, especially because we don't get too much like footage and stuff like that for the Olympics. So that'll be good. I'm excited for it.
That's interesting. They got to carry two of her training partners, so it's like they're gonna be at the track.
Mm-hmm.
It's like okay, like whatever.
Well, maybe you'll be in some of the practice footage, man. Maybe if they go back from when you guys were in the.
I just gotta troll. If I troll Noah hard enough and just say something that crazy that really gets a reaction out of him, then yeah. But like I don't know, I'll keep it low key. I'll keep my shades on this year. I ain't even trying to be in the camera.
Yeah, don't need to get too big time. I was wondering, like, I was thinking, I wonder if they'll reach out to use a clip from when he was on our show and they had the whole like with the Jamaica, with Jamaica, because that was like a pretty big thing for a little while about what was going on with Jamaica and with Quincy Hall as well. Like that was a kind of a big thing that stemmed from this podcast. So I'll have to let y'all know if they reach out, like, yo, let's use some of this footage from this thing, man. I ain't hear nothing yet, but maybe.
Hey, I hope they reach out, but at the same time, I hope they don't. But I hope they use it though.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, be like, yo, let's get this in the episode. Be like, all right, yeah, call you. I ain't hard to find. Let me know. So that'll be cool. I like how quickly it's coming out, so it'll be pretty soon here. So that'll be a good documentary to watch. Speaking of that, what are some track and field stories or athletes or just things of note that you would like for there to be a documentary on, whether it's of any current athletes that are currently around or maybe any stories or things from the past that you'd like to hear a little bit more about?
Maybe if we could do like a sprint, but let's just highlight all like the coldest unsponsored athletes and just kind of see what they lifestyle like on the back end. If we could get like an Alicia Johnson with Trevor Bassett and a few others, and see what that lifestyle is like too. Because that's the sport, that's the reality of the sport, just as much as like a Noah Lyles, Melissa Jefferson, all of them sponsored athletes. I mean, obviously the success levels are a little bit different. Whatever. But to be able to see their stories would be pretty cool. I mean, if I could have had a Carmelita Jeter documentary when I was growing up, like that would have been everything. Like she was my favorite track athlete, male or female, like Carmelita. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's probably what I would like to see.
No, that's good. Yeah, I like those. I think those would be pretty good, like unsponsored. Talk about the other side of track and field. Some other ones that I was thinking of from like athletes that were growing up or at some point, maybe I'd really like to get, a documentary and just hear about some of the like the youth, like people that were stars in college or in high school and just the like things that, since then. So Tyrese Cooper, I need a Tyrese Cooper documentary. I need to know, like, now he's going to be he's actually going to be getting out soon. He's currently, incarcerated, but he's getting out in October and he plans on running. He plans on running track, not for Team USA, but he does want to get, compete and be in the Olympics for 2028. So we'll see what happens there. I want to also see some stuff for Matthew Bowling, just like the amount of attention he had back in high school. Like, I think he had a ton of eyes on him. Obviously, his story is nowhere near finished. He's made some teams, but just hear what it was like for him growing up as a high schooler and having the eyes of the track world on him. And then, of course, Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm sure there will be at least one, if not more, by the time her career is over. I want to learn a lot more about her story. So I think those are some of the ones that I'm thinking of right now that would be like pretty dope. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so those will be good. Excited to see what this new series is gonna be coming out. Oh, forgot to mention for our at the meet, we didn't mention outside those 2 world records that we had. There's some other performances we totally forgot to mention for the Poland Diamond League. I just realized that. So we had Tobogo getting another win in the 200 with a time of 19.83. Alexander Ogandu comes in second. Kenny Bednar comes in third. And Sean Maswangani makes his professional debut, rocking a Nike kit. What are your thoughts with Tobogo? I mean, he's continuing his dominance here. Where you think we'll see any new world leads dropping? I mean, he ran 983 here. World lead was 1946. We think we'll eventually get there by the time we get to the Diamond League final, or what's your pulse on the rest of this thing here?
Probably not. I think we've seen the best it's gonna get over 200 right now for this year. And that's probably going to be the same mostly across the field. Maybe the women's 100, Julian might be able to drop another time at that Diamond League final if she decides to run it, or Sha'Carri even at that. But no, I can't really think of too many events where I think that they're going to drop something. I definitely not the men's 400. Yeah, no, it's tough to call it though.
Could you speak on a little bit, like, because I think, like, we talked about it a while ago with the difficulties of peaking, and like I think that plays into it, right? Where I mean they're peaking for, like, many of these US athletes, like you're peaked for US trials, and then you peak for the Olympics, and then you're just probably mentally, physically drained, and then to try to peak again, like I feel like there's not going to be many actually good performances for the rest of this track season, in my opinion.
Muscle memory, having a good day, having good travel plans, like though, that's kind of like this time of the year. That's what it seems to be, like the little differences of people still. Because Matthew Hudson Smith just went and ran, he dropped another 43, a couple days ago. Tobogo just 19.8 ain't nothing to laugh at. You know what I'm saying? So they're obviously all in shape, but it's just like, oh, I had a good day today. Cool. I remember Vernon was talking about I left my legs in America, back in America, when he ran that 44 the other day. So, it's like you're gonna have a good day or a bad day at this point.
Yeah, I think Grant had the same thing, like, because he lost in the Diamond League in the 110 hurdles, and just like, yeah, I'm out here racing. It's clearly not too bothered. It's like, yeah, it's hard to get, like, he's like, once you've accomplished everything that you wanted to accomplish in the season, it's hard to go back to running track. Like, yeah, I can completely get it. It would be pretty difficult for me to get back on the track after I become like an Olympic gold medalist and try to, do some more stuff. So yeah, that would be hard. That would be hard for me. Another performance. I got to get your opinion, Mr. 400 meters. Paulino, 48.66. This kind of goes up against what I literally just said 5 seconds ago of no good performances. Another sub 49, and pretty much dominating that last 100, where Adeleke was winning through the first 300 meters or so, and then Paulino just completely took it away. What were your thoughts with how she's been over the consistency over the last little while?
Yeah, she's been the top dog over the past 2 years, I would say. Year and a half, 2 years, 2 seasons. But that was dope. It was a strong race for her. I really was honestly caught with Nasser more on the inside in that race, because there's been a lot of controversy around her, and like with the season she's put together, like coming back off of the suspension and everything like that, is very noteworthy as well. I think she got second in that race too. Like, I watched that interview she did after the Olympics, and like she got a fan out of me, the way she was speaking, and I never really heard her speak on anything controversial, but they gave her the floor and she really took it and ran with it that day. If you haven't seen that interview post, after the Olympics where she was in the press conference, y'all should definitely check it out, because she said some good stuff in that interview. So I was really happy for her in the race she put together as well.
Yeah, that was if you didn't see the interview, it was nuts. I think we're thinking of the same one where the announcer was like, or the interviewer, I think from Australia, was just like, "Hey, you were suspended for, PEDs. How do we know you're not cheating right now?" And he like asked that same question like two different ways, like back to back.
Yeah.
And it was just, I think the people that were like sitting next to her, I couldn't remember who they were, like we're like, oh wow, this is awkward, this is weird, I do not want to be sitting here. So yeah, no, that's a strange one.
Yeah, she kept it cute. Like the first time he asked, she kept it cute. But after that, she was like, all right, like I'm about to more just really talk my shit now. Cause now
Mhm.
you being annoying. So that was cool. I like that.
No, yeah, that was good, man. It was yeah, I mean, she's been putting together some good races here. Look forward to, I guess, 2025 when she's had a full kind of year back, and seeing what things are going to be like then. So that'll be, I think kind of her breakout year, new, like I'm back type year, whatever you want to call it. So no, great performances from her as well. So awesome. Any other things of note to go over that you could that we didn't talk about so far?
I'm good.
Mhm. Cool. I think we had it hit it off. Uh cool. Well, that's gonna be it for this episode of Track World News Podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. That's gonna be it from us here. Have a good one. Peace.